Hi friends, in this video I am going to show you ways to convert fractions to decimals and to percents and in different orders. So let us start with the first topic, which is fractions that go evenly into 10 or 100. 7/10 is already in tenths and therefore 70 out of 100, which is 70%. Let's take 6/50. Doesn't go into 10, but it goes into 100. So I multiply by 2, multiply by 2. This would be 12 out of 100, which is 12%. What if we had 2 out of 5? Well, we could go to 100 times 20, and therefore 2 times 20 would give us 40 out of 100, which is 40%. By the way, that's 0.40, this is 0.12, and this is 0.70. I could get rid of this 0 if I wanted to, and it would just be 0.4. But I do not have to. Like in this 0.70, let's just leave it there. Let's say we have 3/4. 4 goes evenly into 100, 25 times. And therefore, I would have to do 3 times 25 to get 75. This is one you should definitely memorize, that 3 out of 4 is 75%, which is 0.75. Guess I'm really finding both of these answers here. Let's say they don't go evenly into 10 or 100 and it's something wacky, like 9 out of 30. Try reducing, because the sneaky devil, that's my name for threes because you can't always tell that it goes into something, would reduce here, making it able to go into 10 or 100, making it 30% or 0.3 or 0.30. What about this one? 40 doesn't go evenly into 10 or 100, but guess what? They can both be reduced. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 40 divided by 2 is 20. Keep going, by 2 again. Keep going, by 2 again, and that's 1/5. Now 1/5 does go evenly into 10 or 100. I'm just going straight to 100 with these because they're percents. I know 5 times 20 is 100. 1 times 20 is 20, and therefore is 20%, 0.2 or 0.20. You might have noticed way back here, the 8 went into both the numerator and the denominator, and that would have taken you straight to 1/5. Jumping beyond all of the 4 out of 20 and the 2 out of 10, which is fine too. Either way it works. What about the fraction 12 out of 16? This too can be reduced. I can divide the numerator and the denominator by 4 to get to its reduced fraction faster. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And 3/4 you should start remembering is 75 out of 100, which is 75% or 0.75. Again, it was one where we could reduce it, and then it became, if you reduced it, it became one that we know 75 out of 100 because we know 3/4. For all others, do the numerator divided by the denominator. If none of those previous things work, do the numerator divided by the denominator. Let me show you. 5/8. Well, 8 doesn't go evenly into 10 or 100. You're right, it doesn't. So I need to do my numerator divided by my denominator. What is she talking about? 5 divided by 8. Well, I can't do that. Add a decimal to 0 and you can. 8 goes into 50 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. Subtract and you get a 2. Well, I got a remainder. My teacher says I can't get a remainder. You're right, you can't. So add another decimal. Keep dividing. 8 goes into 20 2 times. That's 16. Subtract and you get 4. One more 0 will do it, people, because 8 goes into 40 5 times. And that's 40, nothing left over. Now, that makes this decimal 0.625, like you just divided. However, if I move my decimal twice to the right, that's 62.5%. Let's try another weird one. 3/16. That doesn't go evenly into 10 or 100. Do numerator divided by denominator. Numerator 3 divided by denominator 16. I can't do that. Yes, you can. Decimal to 0. 16 goes into 30 only one time because 16 times 2 is 32. 16 times 1 is 16. Subtract. I get 14. Add another 0. Keep dividing. 16 goes into 148 times because 16 times 8 is 128. Put the 128, subtract. That's 12 left over. This one's going to make me work for it a little bit. That's 7 because 16 times 7 is 112. Now watch what's about to happen. It's a miracle. 8 left over. Add one more 0. 16 actually goes into 80 evenly 5 times. Now I know I might have lost you on the division there a little bit, but you know long division. You're good at it. 16 times 5 is 80. So we're done dividing. Let's look at what we have. Here's the decimal right here, 0.1875. Well, what about the percent, Mrs. Gormal? Decimal twice to the right. 0.1875 is 18.75%. Because if I move my decimal twice to the right, that's what I'll get. There you turned 3/16, a hard one, into a decimal and into a percent. Okay, let's try another hard one, 2/3. So numerator divided by denominator. Numerator divided by denominator. Add a decimal to 0, 3 goes into 20 6 times. That's 18, subtract, you get 2. Bring down a 0. 6 again. That's 18. Subtract and you get 2. What's happening here? Repeating. 0.6 repeating is 2/3. Move your decimal twice to the right. 66.6 repeating would be our percent. There's our decimal. There's our percent. That makes sense because I know 1/3 is 0.3 repeating. Look at that. Double it and you get 0.6 repeating because I doubled 1/3 to 2/3. I doubled 0.3 repeating to 0.6 repeating. So remember, you can always do numerator divided by denominator. Yes, there are shortcuts, but you can always do numerator divided by denominator anytime you're not sure. So let's focus just for a second, focus on a decimal to a percent. if I already have a decimal, I'm just going to move my decimal twice to the right, and this makes 9%. My stylus is not cooperating. Here, I move my decimal twice to the right, and this is 40%. Decimal twice to the right, 22%. What about if it was a big number like 2.5? Twice to the right, 250%. Oh, but it's such a big number, it's okay. What if I already have it in a percent and I need to change it to a decimal? Here's a percent. Now I'm going to go the opposite way. 17%. I'm going to take my percent sign off, move my decimal twice to the left. This is going to be 0.17, which makes sense because it's 17 out of 100 and the 7 is in the hundredths place. 6%. Take the percent sign off, decimal twice to the left. 0.06. 6% means out of 100, and here the 6 is in the hundredths place, so that makes sense. 325. 325%. Take the percent sign off, move your decimal twice to the left. That bell keeps ringing, doesn't it? 3.25, because it would be 3 wholes, which makes sense because that's 300%, and 25%, or 25 out of 100 in addition. 3.25 would be the decimal of 325%. These are already percents, but they're like weird and little, and we're going to have to figure them out. So if I take my percent sign off to change this to a true decimal, I know there's a decimal within a percent, but that's just a part of a percent. I would have to take my percent sign off, move my decimal twice to the left, just like before. This is actually 25 thousandths, because the 5 is in the thousandths place. Remember, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. That's 25 thousandths if it's 2.5%. What about 0.09 of a percent? Not even 1%. A part of a percent. So I rewrite it as it was. Take the percent sign off, decimal twice to the left, 0.0009, decimal 0 in front of the decimal, and therefore this is 9 in the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths place. So this is 9 in the 10 thousandths place, or 9 10,000ths, which is weird and little, but it's okay. Please review as needed.